Listen up, y'all.
I am.
There are beings that is walking this earth and they are not human. I just came from Kroger's. I just got off of work. I went to go pick up a few items, y'all. I go to the bread aisle. Now, the bread aisle is super long. I'm at one end of the bread aisle. There's a guy that's about 3/4 of the way down in the bread aisle. He got a cart. I got a cart. He's looking at me. And you know how you can see out your peripheral that somebody's staring at you.
Yeah.
He ain't just looking, but he's staring at me. I kind of look his way. He's still staring. I go ahead and I get my bread. I go back around the other way because I'm going to the international aisle to get some pasta and some other stuff. While I'm in the international aisle at one end, this guy comes around and he's at the top of the same aisle. I see him still looking at me. Now, mind you, there's a couple of things that I need to get out of that aisle. So the first part of the aisle, I grab what I need to grab and I go about midways down. He's at the other end. So he's staring at me still. So I kind of look at him and I go like, how you give somebody that type look? He's still staring. So I'm looking for what I'm looking for. I can't really find it because he's throwing me off because he keeps staring. Mind you, this man don't have nothing in his cart. He's not even turned to look at any food.
What a
He's
weirdo.
looking directly at me. By this time, I'm like, you know what? I'm not on it. I'm about to just stare you down. So I turn to look at him. Y'all, when I tell you, this man stared at me and his eyes turned black. Everything in his whole eyeball, not just the pupil, but the white part, turned completely black.
Like, what is going on?
1972, I was asleep, and suddenly I heard a voice in my head that said, please come outside. That was
In her
4:30
head.
in the morning. The next minute was 7:30 in the morning, and I was standing in the yard and I was looking up at an enormous spacecraft that was as big as my house. The only thing I remember is a bunch of us that were only lights gathering around the table and looking at maps. When Larry came running out of the house, it had vanished, and our marriage wasn't doing so well anyway.
There's going to be a video of an actual interview of an actual extraterrestrial being.
You know this?
Yes.
This clip is taken from the most recent Night Shift podcast episode. Daniel Sheehan, a legal representative for prominent figures in the UFO community, such as Lou Elizondo and Stephen Greer, claims to have knowledge of an existing interview with an extraterrestrial being. Watch the full clip and comment what you think below.
When the disclosure moment happens, there's going to be an aha moment, I think, right? Where there's a before this moment and then there's an after. And every day after that, the world is just going to be a different place. And I don't know
There's going to be a video of an actual interview of an actual extraterrestrial being.
You know this?
Yes. So I mean, I know that exists. And that's part of the crown jewels that they're not going to want to reveal.
But is that's on the table to come out?
Well, what I'm saying is that I talked to the person who was there, and that they've got this on film. And so that if you're really going to get down, when you say we get to the nut of the whole thing, that's the kind of thing that once it's shown to the American public, there's, Katie bar the door. There's nothing that can be denied anymore. And up until now, even though you have David Grush, who's the person from the National Reconnaissance Office assigned to the UFO task force inside the Office of Naval Intelligence, comes forward under oath and testifies to a House committee, all on video, and it only sinks into with about 2 to 3 or 4% of the people in the country because they're off doing something else. So the question is, how specific does it have to get? How graphic does the information have to be? You always hear about, why don't they land on the White House lawn? Or why don't they land in Central Park? Like Keanu Reeves did. There's going to be a video.
Okay, we're recording. Stay on an order zone. Okay, yes, sir.
This freaks me right out, mate.
You told us you traveled, and I quote, thousands of light years to get here. Yes. for the word for another reader. It is truth. I saw off from your future. To travel in time is to travel in space. Also special promotions. So I take it aliens took over our future, right? No. So you're human. Okay, so you evolved from us. Yes. So what are you doing here now? Observer. Since our energy is destroyed.
Like, where is that finger pointing to? I've looked at this video so many times. What are we supposed to be looking at? Where's the shadow? Where? Like that finger is pointing to everyone. Like,
so this UFO is dripping something or some kind of molten liquid metal or something like that. However, now the military is seeing these things floating in the sky, so they call in an A-10 Warthog who comes in and fires a Sidewinder missile at it. Now watch what happens.
what is it leaking? Watch.
This is absolutely amazing. Boom! Sidewinder hits them. Is that they have straight up normal 1080p color thermal vision, but just straight up what's it look like with a regular camera? Well, it's going to come up here in a minute. That's what's really cool is I'm glad we're able to see that, what it looks like without the thermal imaging. So they appear to be just some kind of balls of energy. I mean, look at that.
I mean, look at that.
That's what it is zoomed in with the thermal camera.
Disclosure. Jerusalem, look.
אתה מצלם? אתה רואה?
אני רואה, מה זה?
תגיד, שתינו יותר מדי?
לא,
לא, כולנו רואים את זה.
מה זה?
5 עיניים.
שיו!
יואו! רוד, בלין.
מה
מה
זה?
זה, אמא?